Hey there, everyone. This is JT with Center Stage Magazine, and I have on the phone with me this evening Jaime St. James, lead singer from Black and Blue. How you doing today, Jamie?
Doing damn fine, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. So what's new in the world of Jaime St. James and Black and Blue?
Black and Blue is in the middle of booking shows for 2017. So far, so good.
Good. Well, let's take a minute and go in reverse and maybe have you give us a little bit of the backstory on the band, how the band came to be, and, you know, and some of the ventures that got you guys to where you are or where you were, which where you are now.
In 1981, we formed Black and Blue, Tommy Thayer and myself, from a band that we were in previously up in Portland, Oregon called Movie Star. And so just to make a long story somewhat short, we put that band together. I was the drummer. Tommy, of course, was the guitarist. And we just wanted to do something a little different that was going on. Wanted to be a little heavier than it was. And, you know, we were just into playing our own music. And, you know, we were the club scene up in Portland. It was kind of weird. You had to play a lot of top 40 stuff to even get involved in it. And we just get sick of that kind of thing. So we put together Black and Blue. We brought in Patrick Young, who was the bass player in the last band we were in. We hauled him with us. And then me being the drummer, I picked our drummer, Pete Holmes, called him up, said, hey, we're forming this band. Why don't we give it a try? And we had a different guitarist at the time named Virgil Ripper. And he was playing the other guitar. And Black and Blue was born.
That's cool, man. I like to hear how the things came about. So how long did it take for you guys to, you know, pound the pavement, so to speak, before you got noticed by some, the label interest happening?
Well, the first thing we did was started writing songs, and really early on, a lot of songs started coming together, stuff that we still do today. It's Hold On to 18, I'm the King, Chains Around Heaven, stuff like that was getting put together, The Strong Will Rock. We went in and did a demo, and I think it had Chains Around Heaven on it. And that thing, we started sending it around, and somehow it caught wind for that Metal Massacre record that came out. Brian Slagle got a hold of it, and we got on that. That was the first time we were ever on record, and that was just a demo we did in Portland. And so we were doing some demos, and then, I knew from previous stuff I had done, I played when I was like 18 years old. I played at a place called the Starwood down in Los Angeles, so I knew that's where we had to go to get noticed. So the Metal Massacre thing happened for us, and that kind of created a little buzz, and we just brought Black and Blue to Los Angeles in 1980, I think in 82 probably for the first time. And 83, by the time 83 rolled around, we were down here playing a lot more. We had moved down, got a house, and everybody just lived in the house, and it was a real struggle. We didn't have anybody, but we had a manager that paid for the house, so all the band members and crew members and everybody lived in it, and it was crazy in there. But in 1983, we were signed to Geffen Records.
So it didn't take too long.
No, it was 81 we were formed, 82 we moved, 83 we had a record deal. So we were at the right place at the right time, but that was by design, because I knew that's what we needed to do. I knew that well in advance. So, we just made it happen.
Well, I mean, well-deserved. I mean, Black and Blue has always been one of my favorite bands. And of course you've been one of my favorite singers. I can remember when I seen the very first Black and Blue record. I was probably 15 years old, and I kept saying to friends every time we'd go to the music store, I'm going to get that album. I got to get the money together. I'm going to get that album. And they're like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, I'm going to get it. It's going to be great. And then, it caught on around here, man. Then everybody started buying Black and Blue stuff around here. And
it was very cool. That's awesome. That's sometimes that's what's the cool thing about the album. The album cover used to kind of catch people, you know.
Right.
So that's how I discovered Kiss in 1974. I was a kid, and I saw the first Kiss album cover in a record store, and I said, I have to have that. Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I'm buying it.
Right.
And I was just the same way, you know. That's what you miss about those album covers these days, you know. That's gone.
No doubt. Well, you guys ended up putting out, what, 2 or 3 or 4 albums with Geffen before you kind of went your separate ways, so to speak. Tommy, you guys ended up doing, I think, the Cold Gin thing for a while then.
Well, we did. We did 4 albums on Geffen, and we had signed a 4-album deal in '83. So in '84, the first record came out, and then on and on. So we did the 4 records, and you know, Geffen was like saying that, well, that's enough. And we didn't go huge. They always made their money back. Everybody made money, but you know, and it did well. We sold a lot of records, but they just kind of went on to something else, and things were kind of changing a little bit by then, getting close to '90. So, but but
you guys did get to tour Japan and some other places though, other than the States, did you not?
Yeah, we toured Japan, did Central America, went all over, you know, the United States. I mean, we did some excellent, great touring. Toured with Kiss, toured with Aerosmith, toured with Dio, Whitesnake, Night Ranger, played some shows with Triumph, played, you know, shows with Queensryche and, you know, Yngwie, Lita Ford combo with Black and Blue. We had a lot of shows. We had a really great run, man. 3 MTV videos, the whole works. So I mean, we had some decent success with some pretty decent airplay with Hold On to 18 and Miss Mystery. But you know, it was the times had changed, and we had done our thing, and so in the '90s was really rough. I put together a band called Freight Train Jane, and that was got a Japanese record deal, and we put a record out in Japan, but it was that was '94, and wasn't much happening for bands like us. You know, it was wrong time. You know what happened in that time period, you know, with the grunge and everything. So, but Tommy and I did do Cold Gin. I was playing drums again for that, and you know, we were doing a Kiss tribute thing when there wasn't very many tribute bands at all anywhere.
Right.
But Gene and Paul loved it. They'd come out to our shows. They loved the damn thing. And we were actually really, really good. We ended up touring around the country with it. We toured Japan with it. It was pretty amazing. At some point, I said, "Well, what am I doing here? I want to sing." You know, it was fun, but it had run its course for us. We could have kept on going for a long time and made, you know, we were making money. It was a great thing, but we just said, this is enough. We just called it quits on our own. Because I wasn't making any new music. I was just kind of, you know, doing a thing for fun. That's what it was.
But it was a nice financial fun thing.
Well, yeah, we made money. We got to tour around, and you know, I mean, geez, I learned how to put that makeup on real fast. That was crazy. But Tommy's still doing it.
Yeah, no kidding. So, well, what happened after the Cold Gin thing? You laid low for a while, or did you kind of get right back into it, or?
Well, after that, I think I did kind of lay low for a while. I didn't do a lot musically. I just kind of wrote it out. I might have been a little bit burned out. I put my guitar away in a case, and I didn't even pull it out for a long time to write anything. And in fact, it was several years later that I pulled it out, and the neck had warped. Like, oh, shit, it's been sitting there that long, all stringed up. But as you know, I ended up moving to Ohio for a little while.
Correct.
That was 99, 2000. I ended up in Ohio and that was when I kind of started to feel like, I want to do some music again. So that's when I started kind of looking at things. And then right about that time, the Best of Black and Blue came out on Universal, the Ultimate Collection. So that was like a resurgence. And then we forgot about one other thing here in the 90s. We did a live record called One Night Only.
That's right.
And yes. Yeah. So we still kept busy in the 90s a little bit. And that actually is a killer CD, if anybody can find it anymore. It's out of print. The label I don't even think exists. But what a great record. It came out really good. Some of the songs on that live record sound better than the original recordings to me. So
yeah, I can
really
attest to that because I listen to it all the time.
You know, like Wicked Bitch is great
Mm-hmm.
on the live record. It's got a lot of energy and just a lot of life. I think it's a good record. Mm-hmm.
You guys did that back in Portland, I believe.
We did, yeah. That was literally get together, rehearse a couple of times, and go play. And we brought in a mobile sound recording system, and we really did it right. And we were able to go into the studio and touch up a few things. I mean, my vocals weren't perfect, but I had to fix a couple little things, but not like some live records where it's just completely redone. But we did touch up a few things, but other than that, you know, all the basic rhythm tracks and drums and bass, all that stuff is all real. And I fixed a couple of clams on the vocals, but that's about it.
You guys didn't video that at all?
No, we didn't. Should have.
Well, we got audio, so that's good. Yeah, so now we're back in Cleveland.
Yeah. So I put together a thing. It ended up being called St. James. You actually helped me out with the show. I remember that.
Yeah.
We needed a drummer, and you knew all the stuff, man. So that was pretty cool.
Right. Yeah.
I was playing around there. I had bought an RV, and we'd go off. And I think we went to Texas. We'd drive around playing some shows, doing the St. James thing. It was basically I had a solo record called St. James, and it was a bunch of demos that got turned into a record, so it sounds kind of funky, but it's cool and it's different. It was all the stuff that I wrote was a little bit more pop than it was heavy, but it was pretty cool. And then I started to I needed to go back to California because Ohio wasn't really the right place for me, and when I came back, I secured a record deal in England. The record deal in England was something that I just got, it was going to be a solo thing. So I thought, okay, cool. I think I want to get heavy again with this thing. So, and then it dawned on me, why not do a black and blue record? Because Jeff Luke Warner had a recording studio. I had a record deal. Why not make it black and blue? So that's when we started working on Hell Yeah.
Yeah, another great black and blue album.
Yeah, you know what? It sounds really good, and it was kind of strange to do one without Tommy, but I did play stuff for Tommy, and when I played him the final product, he says, "You guys did just fine. It sounds great. You don't need me." So, well, I always need Tommy. I love Tommy, but we did a really good record. It was pretty much all written by myself and Jeff Luke Warner, and I think we pulled off an excellent black and blue record. But then, so that came out about 6 years ago, something like that. It took years for that to come out because in the middle of that whole thing, I ended up joining Warrant, replacing Janie Lane, and that lasted almost 4 years. So that put a damper on things because I was touring a lot, playing like 60, 70 shows a year. So that slowed everything down. That's why it took so long to get Hell Yeah out, but finally got it out. But in the meantime, I did a record with Lawrence called Born Again. So that was a busy guy. Yeah,
there's some good stuff on that album, too.
I think so, too. I think that there's a few really good songs on there, and I think it's a good record. Real Warrant people probably don't like it, but I think there's some good stuff on there. And but that run kind of came to an end. Janie Lane rejoined Warrant at the time, so I said, well, back to black and blue. So that's what I did. Got Hell Yeah out, and here we are. Putting out Hell Yeah really energized the band. Now we're playing live again, doing festivals, cruises, club dates, headlining dates. We're doing more and more as each year goes by. And this year is going to be the most shows we've done to date. We've got a lot of stuff happening. So, yeah, it's been a long haul. Everything I just talked about, it took about 35 years to accomplish. So, but,
yeah, those years go by fast too.
They do, man. Way too fast.
Yeah, I think the thing I regret most about it all is I never got to see the original Black and Blue live.
Well, yeah, we haven't played live together except for, well, the last time was, oh my God, it could have been early 2000s, I think, something like that, when we got inducted to the Oregon Music Hall of Fame. And all the original members were inducted into that, and we all went up to Portland and played 3 songs live with Tommy Thayer, did the whole works. Mm-hmm. And that was actually a really cool thing. And, there's probably a chance that the original members will all play together again someday. It could happen. We're all friends.
Right.
It's all good. But the 3 of us, Patrick Young, Pete Holmes, and myself, are still at it. And we have guitarist Brandon Cook on guitar. He's been in the band for a few years. And a new guitarist named Bob Captain.
Yeah, I'm actually friends with Brandon on Facebook.
Cool.
We've been for a couple of years now, and of course, not met the new guy yet. And what happened with, if you don't mind me asking, what happened with Whoop?
Whoop, he had medical issues, and he had to have several surgeries, and his health just doesn't allow him to tour.
So that's a bummer.
Yeah, it is. If he was a healthy guy, he'd probably still be here. But he's had to fight a lot of stuff. He's doing okay, but it's just not. He can't do the tour thing and do all that stuff right now, or who knows if he ever can again. But God bless him, and he's a good guy, and we love him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I did get to see you guys on the inaugural Monsters Rock cruise in 2012, which was cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you had you didn't have Pete with you on drums.
Oh,
okay.
One. That's right. I forget what happened to Pete then. He may have been on tour with Michael Schenker, because he plays with Michael Schenker and Ulrich Roth. He does their bands off and on. I think that might have been what was going on with him. He was in Europe all the time. So, yeah, we got a guy named Adrian from Powerman 5000. He played with us, and he did a great job. That's the only time we've ever played without Pete. But, yeah, we've done almost every cruise. We've only missed, like, 1 or 2 cruises ever since then. We're a big favorite of the old cruise. So,
right.
In fact, we just did 2 this last year. So
you do both the East and West.
We did the East and West. Actually, the East was actually in February, I think. That was not long ago, and then we did the West Coast one. So
that's cool. Yeah, those are fun. I'd like to get back out on one, but
they're a blast. They're an actual blast. I didn't know what to think of it when we did the first one. Well, that was the very first one, and basically our booking agent just said, "You guys need to do this. Just trust me, just do it." Because they didn't pay us great on the first one, but he says you'll see. You're gonna thank me for doing it. So we did it, and then it got better and better, and I'm glad we took a chance on the first one, and it was well worth it because those are fun. They're a blast. Anybody should, if they can afford it, should go on it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, you guys had, I think was it Sean? Sean playing?
Sean Son. Yeah. He was playing for us.
He's on Hell Yeah as well, is he not?
But yeah, he's on there. It's no songwriting, but he played some solos on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and he actually was the first replacement for Tommy, but we had to let him go for some reasons that let's just put it this way, he some things happened where he forced us to have to let him go. So
right.
He's gone, and Bob Kapka is in.
Cool. Well, I'm hoping to see you guys soon. I think you guys have some shows coming up this summer here on the East Coast, Pennsylvania, I think.
Yeah, dude. For the first time in a long time, we'll be doing some East Coast dates. We are playing in, I know for sure, in Teaneck, New Jersey, a place called Mexicali Live. And then we're doing Penn's Peak in Pennsylvania. We're playing for the first time ever on the East Coast on the east side of Canada. We're doing Toronto and Ottawa. And that's going to be the first time we've ever been to Canada. So the East Coast hasn't got a lot of black and blue since the 80s. I mean,
Yeah.
we did some shows with Kiss, probably with Aerosmith. I think maybe I don't know how far north we got with Aerosmith, but not a lot of black and blue up there. So we're getting there finally, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I definitely want to come out. I know I had spoken to my my boss already at the magazine before I had seen that you guys were going to do the Penn State thing about maybe coming out and covering the show out there at Mexicali Live. Probably about a 4.5 hour drive for me, but sure.
Well,
definitely worth it.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be more dates. There's going to be more surrounding the Penn State show, and there's more stuff coming. So hang tight. We still got some time.
Right.
We're trying to load it up when we get over there. We're going to try to do as much as we can. So I mean, we're into playing live this year. We got a good, but the band is ready to go, and I figure why not get it done now. I said at the end of the year last year, I said I'm going to get Black and Blue on the road much more this year. We're going to play more shows because it's been a long time, and how much longer can you go? I don't know. As long as my voice holds out, I'm in. I'm doing it. So it's I'm thankful that I can still sing all that stuff. Great. So
right. Yeah.
Why not do it?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. We'll wrap it up here. I appreciate your time for sure.
Okay, John.
And I also want to. I don't know if I even got a chance to thank you on the cruise. For calling me when you did. When you was in Cleveland to say, hey, you want to come out and play drums? That was that was like a dream come true type thing for me.
That's awesome. I mean, I forget who told me. Somebody told me about you. I don't even remember who it was now.
Yeah, I had an old school friend out there living out there. Ran into. I had actually, when you was doing the St. James thing, I was actually in a Poison tribute band that come out and did a thing with Poison out there back at that time period, and we ran into you guys at Billy Morris's club, one of his clubs that he had at the time.
Right.
And that's how I found out she was there, lived there. Just ran into her, and I think I gave her a CD that I had done with a friend of mine who's actually now the guitar player, one of the guitar players for In This Moment. And I think she gave you that CD.
Yeah, I think she basically said, if you ever need a drummer, this guy knows all your stuff. And all of a sudden, and I don't remember the circumstances, but all of a sudden I did need a drummer. Say, hey, what did you say? Where's this guy at? So, and I appreciate you filling in.
Yeah, man, and I still know all the stuff. So
good. And you did a good job. You did a great job. I was going, this guy does know it. He knows his shit, man. It's good.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, if you want to give a shout out to anybody, maybe let the the people out there know where they can find you on the internet, and
you know what? I mean, you can get us at blackandblueofficial.com. That's our website. For booking, it's bigtimeinc.com. That's our booking agency. We're on Facebook, Black and Blue. You can get JaimeSt.com is still available. So you can find us.
Okay, cool, brother. Well, I'll let you go, and I want to thank you for your time once again. And hopefully I'll see you out on the road this summer. I'm sure I will. You're going to be out this way. I'm not going to miss it. That's guaranteed.
Yeah, we'd love to see you. You got to come by.
I will, man. All right, take care. God bless.
All right,
and
take care.
We'll see you out there. Later.
All right, bye-bye.